The year was 1997, when a climbing party of 5 countries embarked on their ascent of Mount Europe. Their mission was to conquer the summit in Luxembourg. In hindsight, it was an adventure to remember.
Some countries were faster, Slovenia, Hungary, Poland, Czech Republic, Estonia, I think, as well. But the others, I think, the status of those countries was a stimulus for the others to proceed faster.
For example, Cyprus, who caught up as the summit loomed on the horizon. The first task for the Brave Six was to meet the economic and political conditions to accede to the dizzy heights of EU membership. They needed a solid base camp with stable democracy and respect for the rule of law. Their guide, Günter Verheugen, who was European Commissioner for Enlargement at the time, knew it was an ambitious climb. And he had to convince the long-term summit dwellers, above all France.
The point was not that they rejected the idea of new members or that they wanted to deny particular countries access to the EU. The concern of the French was rather that EU enlargement would change the balance of power within the European Union in favor of Germany and to their own disadvantage.
But the ongoing conflict in former Yugoslavia changed the mission's scope and speed. Eastern enlargement suddenly meant bringing in 10 countries as quickly as possible. Sherpa Günter Verheugen was a champion of what became known as the Big Bang approach.
The war in Kosovo in 1999 made it clear to everyone that war had not been entirely banned from Europe. In fact, we understood that European unity was the only reliable tool to bring peace to Europe for good.
The new map of the EU would now look like this. 10 countries were now facing one last steep climb at the Copenhagen conference.
At that point, the summit appeared to be very far away. In fact, I felt a bit like we had to climb the north face of the Eiger in the Swiss Alps. But in the end, we made it. It was a miracle.
At the foot of the Acropolis in Athens, the EU's new and old leaders put down their names in the summit book. Together they had overcome the Cold War division of Europe for good. On May the 1st, 2004, it was time to celebrate. But not all of the new members found it easy going in their new environment. The financial crisis in Europe posed stern challenges for many, and even former high achievers such as Slovenia were left struggling.
So I think we still have to think how to fully implement the principles of rule of law, of social market economy, also respect for human dignity. I think that we are still a country, a former communist country, in the transition.
Were the 10 countries rushed into getting to their destination?
I do ask myself today whether we should have done more to prepare the new members for the fight against corruption and to help them set up a more stable justice system. But I have to say that the main problem in these countries is not the absence of strong institutions and legal agreements. It's rather the people themselves and their political culture.
That was particularly true for the next countries to reach the summit. Romania and Bulgaria joined in 2007. Croatia followed in 2013.